True Crime Psychic Eye presents The Disappearance of Brandon Swanson. Unsolved mysteries fascinate us. When people go missing and are never found, it triggers an urge to connect the pieces and solve the riddle. But it also whispers to our quiet awareness of awe and wonder, because on some level we know that unexplainable things can and do happen. To celebrate the last day of spring semester at Minnesota West Community and Technical College, 19-year-old Brandon Swanson attended a party with friends. It was May 13th of 2008. He had a couple of drinks and then left to visit a friend in the nearby town of Canby. He had another drink, but didn't stay long, saying he was tired and wanted to head home. Around midnight, he started making the drive to his parents' home in Marshall, about 30 miles away. Rather than take the main highway, he chose to use back roads. It's been speculated he did so to avoid being seen by law enforcement since he was underage. On the unlit back roads of rural farm country, his car got hung up in a ditch. He may have lost his bearings and tried to turn around on the gravel road. He couldn't get it loose and tried calling friends, but no one picked up. A little before 2 a.m., he called his parents. Brandon told his father he was somewhere between the cities of Lind and Marshall. Brian and Annette Swanson then got in their truck and headed towards Lind. Brandon stayed on the phone with his parents as they looked for him. The call dropped several times, but they were always able to reconnect. Each of them flashed their lights hoping the other would see. He kept trying to guide his dad to his location, but was unable to, and got frustrated. He then told his dad that he could see lights and believed it to be from the city of Lind. Thinking he's close, he decided to start walking and set a rendezvous point of a parking lot of a bar in Lind. It's now after 2 a.m. Brandon commented that he was going to cut through fields and that he could hear water running nearby. Sometime near 2:30, he exclaimed, "Oh shit!" The line remained open, and his parents thought it sounded like he might have slipped or fallen. They called out his name several times, but there was no response. Thinking he might have dropped his phone in the dark, they hung up and called him back multiple times so the phone would light up, but no one answered. His parents went to the police to report him missing, but were essentially dismissed. Police told them it was common behavior for a boy his age, and that Brandon had a right to go missing. At 6:30, a search got underway. Cell phone records revealed that Brandon had been near Porter, about 25 miles, in a different direction from where he had thought he had been. This information led police to find his Chevy Lumina in Taunton. It wasn't damaged, but the undercarriage was hung up and the wheels couldn't get traction. There were no signs of foul play. The door was open, and he had left his glasses behind, despite being legally blind in one eye. There were no discernible footprints due to the gravel road, so no obvious direction of travel. His cell phone and car keys were both missing. During the ground search, bloodhounds picked up a scent along field roads to an abandoned farm, then along the Yellow Medicine River to a point where it appeared to enter the stream. Boats and all-terrain vehicles were deployed to search there, but nothing was found, and eventually the search was called off. The Swansons left their porch light on, and still do to this day. In later searches, after following the scent to the water, dogs continued up across to the other side. It continued north and then ended. Brandon's parents didn't believe he had drowned and never heard the sound of a splash. This remains an open and active missing persons investigation. There have been no confirmed sightings of Brandon or any further physical evidence. Many people still believe he fell into the river, but there are other possibilities as well. There was at least one farmer who didn't allow his land to be searched due to concerns over his crops being damaged. So, what happened to Brandon Swanson? Was this simply consequences of bad decisions? Was he more intoxicated than his friends and family had believed? Did he fall into the river, or perhaps an open well? Did he get wet and suffer from hypothermia? Did he meet with foul play? Was he kidnapped or even possibly abducted by aliens? The one positive takeaway from this case is that his parents lobbied for the law to be changed. In 2009, Brandon's Law was passed It requires law enforcement to immediately begin investigating when an adult is reported missing under suspicious or concerning circumstances, regardless of their age. Maryam and Denise will tap into this unique case for answers.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
So, welcome. Another interesting case Harlow has found. We're back. Denise, did you take your trip, or are you taking a trip later this month?
I'm leaving Monday.
Where are you going this time?
I'm going to South Dakota.
What's there?
I have a friend who has a house up there, and his mom's family actually has a working cattle ranch that they've owned for hundreds of years. They don't have any cattle on it, but they have that. So that's where they always go to for the summer.
Oh, that's nice. Have you been there before?
I actually have just one other time. So this time it'll just be more for, fun and different things. There's some farms that have, there's a farm that has beehives on it and stuff. So I want to go check that out. And they actually have a lot of, kind of really cool places, to kind of check out spirits and things like that. So I'm going to see if I can't get a journey out there for that.
Harlow, it sounds like you know about that.
Oh, I'm familiar with a couple of places, but see what she can discover.
How are you, Harlow?
Doing good. Hot.
Good. Yeah, I know, right? It is hot today.
It's like 102 here today.
What is it for you in Arizona?
Well, what is it? 115 today?
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
It
Okay.
is.
110. Well, sorry, I was wrong. It was 110.
Oh, God, you exaggerate, Denise.
I know.
Just trying to get that attention.
I know. Well, yesterday it was apparently when they checked the air, because they always do the temperatures at the airport. It was 118 yesterday at the airport.
Yikes.
What's the hottest it's ever gotten in Arizona?
122.
Whoa.
That's pretty high.
That's creepy, actually.
It's been 115 here since I've lived here, but that's the most.
That's hot. Like anything after 110 for an extended period of time is just miserable.
It is.
Yeah.
And I've been in Arizona for over 40 years, so I feel like I'm a native. I know people that would beg to differ, but after that amount of time, I think I have a right to complain if it's over 110 for a while.
I think that's more than fair.
Yep.
All right, so tonight we're doing one of the more well-known missing persons cases. It's that of 19-year-old Brandon Swanson. In Minnesota in 2008, while driving home from a party, his car got stuck in a ditch. He called his parents for help, and they stayed on the phone while driving to the area. He was heard to exclaim, "Oh shit," and then the open line went quiet, and he was never seen or heard from again. That's horrifying. So another exciting, happy case. True. I keep hoping somehow on one of our episodes of a show called True Crime, it'll be a happy ending, but yet to have that happen.
You're so optimistic.
I know, right?
And unrealistic.
Right. That too.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up some pictures, which I'm sure Denise is doing also.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
And we're going to look to Harlow to kind of start us off.
This one is really well known. A lot of people are familiar with this. I know Web Sleuths has a lot of information on it, and it's one people would really like to see some kind of end to. It's been such a long time. Well, 2008 is a while. It's not a current one, and there's just been no more physical evidence at all. It's not like someone has reported seeing him somewhere else. He hasn't been sighted anywhere. They just came to an end, and no one's ever heard anything. His family still doesn't know whatever happened to him. I think one of his parents passed away. One is still with us, so it's a pretty sad case.
Well, and especially they were on the phone with him when
exactly.
I can't even imagine what that must have felt like.
Yeah, trying to find him. Yeah.
You think you do, as a parent, you're like, they do everything right. And, sometimes fate just takes over. Okay, so let me do this here. Let's see what we got. So Harlow, what would be the first question?
I guess the first one is he still alive?
No. No.
Okay.
He died that night.
Can his body be found?
Hmm, it's hidden. So the question I have for myself is, or for Denise, is it being hidden or is it just hidden due to environment? We'll come back to that question.
Okay. I'll come back to that one. All right. So, was he more intoxicated than his friends and parents believed at the time?
No.
Did he fall into the river?
No.
It's like, okay.
I know, sorry. It's not like it's not there yet. So just, yeah, the
Okay.
questions are helpful. I'm
Did
not
he
just being difficult.
tell you no? If I'm just going to get no every time, this is going to be a real quick no. Nope. Okay. Well, that's it. Did he fall into a well?
No.
Okay. I didn't really have much hope for that one. Uh, did he possibly hurt himself on farm equipment?
He
Good for you.
didn't hurt himself. He was hurt by equipment.
Okay. At some point, I don't think I put it into the video. The dogs later on in a later search did hit on a piece of farm equipment, so that's spot on. Is it the equipment? Was it in one of the farms that they weren't allowed to search?
There's a farmer who has since passed that has to do with this case and is interfering and not wanting me to give out information because he's the one that did something.
Was there a cover up?
Didn't even really need to cover up as no one's been on to him. Nobody had, like, no, like, there, it's no one's withholding information. Uh he I feel like it's so strange because this person that did this it feels like it's the first time he's ever done anything this extreme. Um and but some person, this farmer, was involved in, I almost feel like this person had, just go with me for a minute. This isn't necessarily verbatim. This isn't exactly literal. So just kind of let me get it out first and then we can pick it apart. It feels like this farmer had set traps for animals of some sorts, and it the boy got caught in that, and the farmer didn't want to be held responsible, and so he dealt with it himself.
Ooh, that opens up a lot of questions. Was Brandon still alive when the farmer found that he was out there in his trap?
I'm feeling like a no because I'm just not feeling, this farmer has never murdered anybody, killed. So this was a reaction, but also this farmer is not upstanding part of the community, like a good person. Like it's not that far of a stretch to think he
Mhm.
would do something like this. Denise, what are you getting? Because I feel like you're getting something.
Yeah. So I feel like what I saw, like, and kind of listening to what you were saying, is that I got totally that the farmer killed him, um,
Mm.
because what I saw was he's Brandon was walking, and I almost see, those big metal clips that they trap animals in, those big metal like teeth things. And I get a sense that the farmer had those placed on his property, and he wasn't supposed to. Like that was an illegal tactic that he was not
Mm-hmm.
allowed to have,
Mm-hmm.
and he kept that under the radar to prevent animals from eating his crops and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Almost like to actually, it sounds awful, but like to trap the deer, because the deer would eat the foliage,
Yeah.
and that was illegal for him to do that. And
Mhm.
then he would not dispose. I mean, then he would use the meat. So it's like he got it illegally. So that was kind
Mhm.
of, so that's why with him not having a sense of what's appropriate, because he was doing illegal things. Um, and if the animals weren't dead, then he would handle that so that then he could, handle the meat and stuff like that. Brandon got caught in that. And what I first saw, and I don't know, you'll have to confirm this, Maryam, but I almost got a sense of that the farmer was out there, the dog alerted him to something, and then the farmer started checking his rows of crops, and Brandon ran into him. And that was the oh shit, because it startled him, because Brandon didn't, because now we know this, didn't have his glasses, so he
Mhm.
couldn't see, it was dark. But because of the timing, it was almost like the sun was starting to come up, so it wasn't quite as dark, but it wasn't dawn yet either. And it's like I just see him just like running into him. So I don't know if he got caught in the trap and then he saw the farmer. I that's unclear, because the fact that his parents didn't hear any noise
They said
other
it
than the
sounded like he maybe fell, but that was it.
okay. Because I don't know if those trap things make a lot of noise, so I don't know. But I can just see this in the crops with him and the farmer, and I can just see that. What do you have, Miriam?
I feel like so I'm getting a little conflicting messages because I'm seeing him being faced with a man in a rifle causing the oh shit. Um, I'm also seeing an incinerator, which is why the body has not been recovered because there is no body.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
Uh,
I feel like the farmer did eliminate the body.
yeah, I think we're on where it's blurry for me is between the when he said oh shit, that just if I keep feeling him seeing something,
Mm-hmm.
because if he got caught in the trap he wouldn't have been able to say that, and it would have
Right,
Exactly.
been a very different sound.
Yeah, and oh shit would be a reaction to seeing something.
right. And
And that's what it feels like to me, but then I'm also not feeling this farmer being the one to pull the trigger. So that's where I'm feeling this secondary action that took place. He sees the farmer, there's a response, and then something happens. So that's where I'm unclear.
I mean, if you just speculate, you could say he basically ran into the farmer and in being shocked may have fallen into it. Maybe there was a trap right there.
Yeah, because there was some prep time. Like there was like I can okay. I can there's the farmer didn't know it was a human coming, assumed it was an animal, and he had
Mhm.
time to prepare for that. So that's how this all lined up. And so there, whether the trap was already out there, traps are out there, he put the trap out there, he was waiting, it all lined up. He had time to do whatever he needed. And I think the confusion for me is coming in because the farmer didn't intentionally, has never killed a human, but that's where I was saying in the beginning, it wasn't a stretch for him. He had been killing animals and big animals and
Mhm.
putting them in an incinerator for so long that this wasn't that much of a stretch for him.
And
And so they came face to face, and
then
then there must have been but he did the farmer didn't pull the trigger and kill him. Like that didn't happen.
it probably was a shock to them both. I mean, the farmer's not expecting this kid to be cutting through the fields and onto his property at 2 in the morning.
Right.
And then Brandon's like not thinking he's not going to be expecting traps to be there or a farmer to be out there at that time either. So it probably shocked them both.
And the farmer though, now that the farmer though also wasn't opposed to, like, if this is a trespasser, he'll deal with that too.
Hmm.
So there was just, this farmer just had zero tolerance for anything, so, or anyone or any animal.
Yeah.
So you know and it just feels like he just dealt with it quietly, easily, and that was it.
Yeah, with no remorse either.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
It was like because he had because he just treated it like a large animal, like that had just crossed
yeah,
and
It
didn't
shouldn't have been there.
shouldn't have
Yeah.
been there. And it's like it's like he's this grumpy old man, and it's like this is my property. You don't belong here, so I'm going to take care of it.
yeah.
Kind of thing. Because at that point there was no, and he wasn't. It's so weird because it's like even though he didn't want anybody doing his property, but he was also not like hiding it from the standpoint that he wasn't telling people that he did, but he didn't have any qualms about doing it, like putting whatever it
Mhm.
was in the incinerator. Like he had no issue with.
But nobody had ever questioned what he's no one's ever questioned his existence. No one ever questioned his work. No one ever questioned what he was doing. He's just been doing this forever and left alone. He's not bothering anybody. He's in the middle of nowhere.
Hmm.
And so there he was allowed to just, nobody knew what he was doing. Nobody knew that he was breaking laws or killing it. Nobody knew. And I keep seeing that no one knew because nobody was around to know, and he had this down to such a science. It was just like just what he did. It's
Yeah.
just what he
And,
did. It wasn't a big deal.
no, and it wasn't so consistent that it would make people suspicious either.
Mhm. But I also keep feeling like there was nobody was ever around to be suspicious. Like
Mm.
nothing about his work was questioned, needed to be questioned. He behaved like, he was just, he was left alone. And
Did
not
he have,
left alone because he was a jerk, just left alone to live his life.
did he have any family members that might have known what happened? Did he live alone?
Alone for sure. He was definitely alone. Maybe there, am I feeling a wife? I might be feeling a wife. I'm not sure if that person was still there or questioned him or cared. Another animal, go back to bed. Like, it's just like, it was just so nonchalant,
Mm.
and no, but this isn't a man that he never did anything in public that, like, listen, like, people like, what's the worst thing he did? Like, he killed animals he wasn't supposed to kill, big deal. Like, I'm not saying that, because obviously that's not what I believe, but that's what I'm saying. What was going on? It was just like, whatever, everything else he played by the rules, so there would be no reason to think otherwise. I think
Well,
what's crazy, one sec, Denise, let me just finish this thought real quick before I lose it. What's crazy is that it's almost like he didn't even realize how easy it was for him. Go ahead. Sorry.
well, I was going to say that he didn't realize that he was actually doing anything really wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know,
my property. That's my thing. That's mine.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, and this is what I do, and this is how I'm going to handle it. So it's like, it was almost like he really had no idea. And I think the whole, when he ran into Brandon, that was just it was really like both, when you see those cartoons and everybody's like, I mean, they were both like that with each other. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think the farmer panicked from the standpoint that, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this kid? I think it was more of, he was like not expecting that. So that was the startle for him.
Yeah.
He
I
was,
didn't. Mhm. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, he was just like, it was more, he was expecting an animal, not a person.
Yeah. I didn't sense any remorse or like, what do I do, or fear. Just was like,
And not even any anger. It was just like, oh,
yeah.
it was just a job, and he had to do a job, and that's what he did.
And he
Mm-hmm.
would have had to have disposed of his cell phone and his keys and all that.
Interesting.
Nothing
Look
was
what.
ever, nothing was ever found.
Well, because Brandon probably still had his keys on him.
Yeah, his
And
cell
it's like,
phone, I don't know.
well, he may have had it in a pocket, or if it fell when because I'm just thinking, just out loud, that if he was, so Brandon, they startled each other, he dropped it, he would have dropped it right there. And then with the parents calling back, the farmer would have seen it, because it would have,
Supposedly, they kept calling and it rang for a couple hours before it died, but nobody ever picked up.
okay. Yeah. So I think the farmer probably, like, I just keep thinking that he like put him somewhere for a while, like he was at this point not alive, but I feel like he just kind of put him somewhere, so that if there was anybody, like, I feel like he was like, just in case somebody else was around.
I don't know. I see an incinerator. Like, I feel
Mm.
like he just did
Oh,
what
I
he.
just meant like he just like, and I don't mean like he waited for a while. It was just more like, let me make sure that there's nobody else. So I think like he
Mm,
left him there,
mm,
and then went to make sure there was no other humans, and
mm-hmm.
then came back and took care of it.
Lovely. Did
I
that
know.
farmer have dangerous livestock like a bull? I did not feel. I felt like he was constantly like killing off big animals. Like he was not keeping them. No.
I think in Minnesota they grow corn and things like that. So it would make sense that animals would come in and forage.
Mm.
Mm, maybe marijuana. Yeah, he's protecting his crop. Yeah, yeah, because he was like really protective. Took Brandon's coat and dragged it to the river to put off the police.
That's a good possibility because the dogs did track to the river. Interesting. Do you feel him getting close to the river at all?
That's what I'm trying to see. I don't feel him. I don't feel him. Mm-mm.
He said he told his parents he could hear water running,
Mm-hmm.
but
No.
they said they never heard a splash.
Yeah, I don't. I don't feel any sort of connection to that.
I think the water they heard running, was the crops being watered.
Yeah, I was just gonna say sprinklers too. Yeah.
because
Uh, mhm.
Brandon was so turned around. I don't think
He was.
he didn't know where he was. And considering he was, what, 25 miles away from where he
Where he
actually
thought he
thought
was.
he was,
Yeah.
I think he left. I think his car got stuck. I think he was going the wrong direction when he started to walk and then just got
Hmm.
lost. And he should have probably stayed where he was
Yeah.
Mhm.
'Cause he
for his
wasn't
parents.
traveling the normal route, which was just straight through the highway. He went
Right.
all those back roads,
Yeah.
farm back roads, and
Yeah.
it
And
was
then,
kind of zigzagging and easy to get turned around.
yeah. And you're on all these little small towns. So it's hard to know, and then if you walk into a field, you know,
Why did he leave his glasses behind?
I feel like he did that because I was asking that too. I was asking, like, why would you leave your glasses? That to me just feels like a response to drinking. He had been drinking and just wasn't. He wasn't paying attention. He was how old was he? He was young, right?
19.
20?
19,
How
yeah.
old? 19, yeah.
19.
Yeah, because I was going to say he felt like someone who was kind of new to being tipsy, not get like as you get older, the more like if you party, I don't know, maybe no one can relate to this but me, but then you kind of
probably not.
you get better at it.
Surprisingly. Well, also, like sometimes when you are more drunk and people realize it's because you're making a concerted effort not to show it. And some people are good at that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you're still got the woozies going on, but you're not showing it necessarily.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. I didn't get a sense that I didn't feel like he was like you said, super drunk, but
I didn't either.
but that doesn't mean that, like your point, Harlow, is that he wasn't woozy anyway, just with one.
He
Well, and
felt like
then
he Oh, sorry, go ahead.
being out at night and realizing your car is stuck, and he may have gotten a little sober kind of quick too,
Mhm.
Yeah.
considering the circumstances.
Right. And panic a little bit when you have to call your parents and tell them
Yeah,
they stuck the car.
at 2
Mhm.
in the morning. Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, at 19, he's calling his parents anyway. So chances are he was still living at home, which is normal,
yeah, he was.
So
Mhm.
he was probably like, "Oh my gosh, my parents are going to kill me. I got to get
Yeah.
home." And he's trying to
Yep.
get home, and then he's just so turned around. And unfortunately, because it wasn't an intentional thing on the. I mean, it wasn't like it was a like a planned thing. It was definitely the circumstance of bad timing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I felt like someone who just wasn't good at controlling his alcohol, but he wasn't even inebriated. He just was sort of new to the whole drinking thing and was also feeling a little confident and maybe just self-assured and was just like, "Oh, I got it. I know where I'm going. It's fine. I recognize this," and that was it. It was just like those simple things just threw him
Mhm.
off. And the rest was out of wasn't the rest wasn't his fault. Was out of his
And
control.
the impression I got is that he was kind of really a little bit frustrated because they couldn't find him, but he kept saying, "No, I'm here, I'm here." Instead of having them look in different areas, he kept telling him to go to this one area, and it was way off.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
because
like
well,
a
because he had only legal sight in one eye. That's
Mhm.
also going to give you less than when you add alcohol to that, and you already don't have great vision anyway. You really,
Mhm.
it's not really surprising that he kind of grounded out the car.
Yeah.
Well, and he was on those dark, rural back farm roads that he wasn't familiar with after drinking a little bit. So it's just happened.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think what the hard part is he was just behaving like a typical 19-year-old
Mhm.
and crossed the wrong path, of this guy.
Now, I have a question for you, Miriam, because the farmer was getting in the way because he doesn't want anybody to know anything. So what is he thinking now? Will he talk with you?
Not really, but we can ask questions if you want.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I wasn't getting anything from him either. He's pretty staunch. I mean, he's very much the same there as he was here. Man of few words, very staunch. You don't need to know. It's none of your business.
How about Brandon? Because I got no sense of Brandon at all. I tried talking to him and I got nothing.
I don't have any connection to him at all either. Nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's just because I think he just came through body very quickly. He went out, came back through. Because he's not stuck. He's not like, what happened? He's moved on. Peacefully has moved on.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And you said his father died, or one of the parents died?
I think his dad passed. I think his mom is still alive.
Because I do feel that connection being made when his dad passed. So, him seeing him.
After trying to find him so badly. Well, you ladies took care of that. Next.
I guess the next thing would, because there's no remains, there's nothing you can find. I want to go back to when you said the dogs found a scent of him near the water.
They did. Initially, they did.
Yeah, I feel like it's because he walked past there.
He must have.
Because the farmer it was like a really grossly clean, quick, simple, like the guy worked at a butcher shop, just took care of it. I feel like I can see the land. I can see the property. But I don't know who's there now. But it's definitely haunting, not necessarily haunted, but like a haunting feel, that because you can't kill that many animals regularly. It's no different than a slaughterhouse where people get their meat from.
Yeah.
It's haunting and horrifying. And that's what it felt like, But it was separate. Where I'm seeing the incinerator and what he did was separate from the house, obviously, but really separate and kind of pushed back. And unless someone had reason to walk that property, no one would ever think or question of any of it being there, or why anything was there, or why he had any of that.
No, so nothing's there. Nothing is ever going to come up that they'll find what happened.
I feel like something will come up.
Could the farmer have kept a watch or any item of his?
He didn't want to or intend to. So if there's anything ever found, which I feel like it could, I feel like there is evidence if we can find the farm that I'm seeing, there's something there that it's by the incinerator. Whatever else is in that incinerator, it's by that, and it's accidental. Whether it's his DNA, because the farmer would not have purposely kept anything of value. He doesn't care about that. It's not like he would have kept the kid's watch or something. And the cell phone, I feel like that cell phone is out in the fields.
Okay. So strange they didn't find it.
By now, it may have been, obviously by now, but at the time, it's buried in those fields.
Anything could have fallen out of his pocket too when they put him in the incinerator. So it makes sense there could be some small piece of evidence left behind.
Even
his keys.
I said maybe even his keys. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like his remains obviously are not going to be found, but I feel like there is belongings of his, maybe one or two, that are still on the farm that this happened. But
Interesting.
it's it's like it's the fields are so massive and they're so
Mhm.
full,
Yeah.
and I feel like I don't know anything about farming, but I just feel like there's so much soil on top of the phone itself, and that happened so quickly. Like, I feel like within, the next day or whatever, he was out running his,
tilling
whatever
the
they
fields or
do.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just gets moved around.
Makes sense.
And it was easy for him to not allow them to come onto his property. It was just like, had a real good reason why. And
Well, yeah, a couple of them didn't allow it just so their crops wouldn't be destroyed. I mean, it's their livelihood, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
so he knew he can that's how he's been getting away with everything that he's done, is because
Mm-hmm.
he can keep people off his property. But it's there. Like, if you were to I feel like if you were to just remove all of the crops, you would find his phone.
Hmm.
And they and back first, and now it's dead, so you wouldn't be able to do anything anyway, but it was so old. They didn't have tracking then like you do now.
No.
Mhm.
So once it was dead, you weren't going to find it. It wasn't like you were going to push your watch and go find my iPhone
Yeah.
like we can do now when I lose it in the house.
When you're holding it and going, "Where's my phone?"
Oh wait, what, were you here in my house today when I did that?
That just seems like something we would do. It seems like it tracks for me and you.
Totally.
Okay, what else you got for us, Harlow?
That's about it.
That's it?
I can't think of it. I mean, what else is there if you can't
Yeah,
give
I don't
a
have a
road name or more specifics or more specific as to what's left behind by the incinerator? It's just.
Harlow's like, if you can't do your job better, then I don't have any other questions for you.
I mean,
I don't know what's wrong with the two of you, but you're really slacking today.
that would be the only other questions. If
Yeah.
no one else knows it happened and the guy's passed, it's all incumbent on if evidence can be found, and
Yeah.
you'd have to have a specific location to search.
If you showed me pictures of the properties that said no, I could tell you.
Hmm.
How good are you, Harlow? Can you Google
I'll
that?
get back to you.
Yeah, but
But then, yeah, we could find it.
yeah, I was gonna say the strangest part is though is Brandon. I don't get any energy from Brandon, and the
Mhm.
farmer is
Hmm.
just like, yeah, no, you're none of my beeswax.
Mhm.
Like, just leave. Yeah,
And it's such a shame if he'd have just stayed in his car.
I know. Which is which is what they say to do, right? You just lock yourself in your car.
yeah. But teenagers. I mean, we all
Mhm.
were them, and the first thing that went through his head is, "Oh my God, my parents are going to kill me," And so then
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, I got to get home," even if he didn't think he had to get home, he was like, "I got to go find help so I can get the car." Because if he had a cell phone, he probably should have called his parents right then, not you know hours later after he was lost.
Well, he pretty
Well,
much did. He called his friends and nobody picked up because it was 2 a.m. They're still partying or passed out.
No.
So he did call them.
Oh, okay. All right. For some reason, okay, I misunderstood. For some reason, I thought he left the party at midnight and then didn't call his parents until 2. So I
No, he went to one party and then left it about 10:30, went to see someone else and then left there, and it was around 2 when he got his car stuck. And
Oh.
then by 2:30 he was saying, "Oh shit," and that was it.
Oh.
hmm. I feel bad for I mean, obviously you feel bad for the parents, but it's
Mhm.
like, the parents just did everything that they could. So it was just, again, unfortunately, it was inevitable. It was inevitable. It really was. I mean, yes, had he stayed in his car, but talk from a karmic place, from a, universal place of was he supposed to survive that? No.
Mhm.
You know, that was inevitable. But
And like you said, Miriam, like the in and out, like he's already back. Like so he paid the price of the karma or whatever words you want to use. I know that's not the right words. And then he went to the other side and then he was already back again.
right. Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
think we
like,
answered this question, but
Yeah.
no,
We
I
haven't
that didn't happen.
answered for
Um,
her last one, we haven't answered.
right. Yeah, Anita, you're right.
yeah, I don't feel like there was any.
Other than that initial hesitation, not wanting to get involved and telling them to wait, I think they did. There were several different searches over the course of a few years.
Yeah, I didn't feel like there was any negligence, and it wouldn't have mattered. It happened so quick, and it
Yeah.
was done. So
Yeah.
what mattered would have been stopping him from getting on that property,
Hmm.
and that didn't happen. So, yeah, I don't feel like there was any sort of cover up or anything like that.
Okay.
And then the thing that was also meant to happen with this is that his parents got that legislation passed.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
So there was a lot of things that needed to happen, and sadly him losing his life was a part of this karmic lesson path that had to happen in order for things like that. And that's the most tragic thing when we have laws passed. It's usually because there was some tragedy,
Yeah.
Hmm.
which can be helpful, and it's heartbreaking for the families that were involved, but yet they were instrumental in getting that law passed, so now even missing adults can be looked for right away.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
end on a silver lining. Well, Harlow, what's up next for us? Do we have any idea, or are we kind of like we have no idea?
Now, I don't know because it had the Hinsdale house, and I just wasn't feeling that one. So I
Okay.
think I'm going to let that one go.
So yet TBD, as the kids say.
Yeah,
All right, I'll take it.
we have that one guy that was building the time machine, but he's still alive. It's not like he did it and vanished. So I'm not sure about that one. I think I'm going to try to find something else.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we did good tonight, guys.
We did.
Honestly, all we need are some people like police or detectives to give us a little bit more, like maybe images or something, and we could really help pinpoint this. But
Any
also
farm
to
was
be
an
fair,
incinerator.
yeah,
Sorry, we're bad
it's
timing
okay.
tonight.
I know, right?
Yeah.
No, all I heard was farm, then incinerator. No, I was gonna say, uh, I mean, but in order to find that phone, you do have to destroy. If there's crops there, you have to destroy those crops. So
Well,
there you
and
go.
I'm thinking the incinerator wasn't, I think it was multi-purpose. Like, I don't think it was just, I think it was a trash incinerator, and I think he did
Mhm.
everything. So that's why it didn't bring any
Ring any bells?
bells or red flags to the police,
Hmm.
because I feel like it's almost like I got it when I'm seeing the property, it's like it's so removed and remote that there wasn't like trash pickup, if you will. So the
Hmm.
incinerator was like a
Mm.
trash incinerator, and he just
Hmm.
incinerated everything.
Yep.
That was 2008. Is it still a farm, and is there still an incinerator there?
That's a great question.
I don't think the incinerator is there. I don't know, because it was, I got it, it was sold, somebody else bought it. I don't know if it's as active as a farm as it was,
Hmm.
because to like like people get creeped out, like you
Mm.
said, like it's haunting,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
it's so much low vibrational energy, for lack of a better
Hmm.
word, because of all of the killings that went on there. But again, to the far, like he just, you don't belong here, I'm going to take care of it. You know, you don't belong here. I'm going to take care of it. So I think the people that bought it, and maybe not the people that are there now, but I think there's just been some things that have just been gotten rid of
Mm-hmm.
for now, you know, because it's not necessary now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I
All
see
right.
it.
I'm drinking water, by the way.
Well, I mean, is that allowed? You can't
Yep.
wait till the show's over?
No, it's too hot in here. Oh, so no name on the gentleman, the farmer?
No.
And then we're
Sorry.
back to the no.
Yeah, he's pretty tight-lipped.
No, yeah, I just like, yeah, he is, which is why, like, even for me, when I kept going, nope, nope, I'm like, I have no other information. Like,
It's almost,
I am being stopped from
yeah.
talking about this.
Okay.
Well, it's almost like he's got his back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
100%
He's like,
agree.
I'm
Yeah.
not talking to you. Just
Yeah.
stop bothering me. Don't talk to me. You know, like he does. He totally has his back to you.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's pushing it with the
So
name.
he's just as crabby up there as he was down here.
Yeah, I mean, he's not crossing over. He's
No.
staying right in the middle because he's no fool. He knows what if he goes to the other side, he is in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm at the library with my kids on school holidays. Hope everybody is doing well. I feel better having a break from work. And
Aw,
so
thank you. I'm
you.
sorry you're watching this with your kids. Your kids are like, "What are you watching, Dad?"
Well, the kids
All
are in
right.
the library. He's probably on his phone.
That's true.
and hey, this is a mild case. It's not like it's a gruesome one. So
No.
Yeah, we've had some bad ones.
yeah, we're trying not to go there too much.
We're trying to be as uplifting.
Well, you can't really be uplifting.
No,
But
me
you
and
can-
When you do
older
this kind of
cases.
work, this is why we have to then go, you know, cleanse and meditate.
right. All right, you guys. Well, that was fun.
Oh, his kids are doing homework.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks with something. I think what we're gonna do for the schedule, if this works for you, Denise, just so you guys know, I think the first Thursday of every month will be Ask the Aliens. That'll be once a month. And then we'll do 2 true crime throughout the month on whichever, Thursdays we can, ideally alternate Thursdays when everyone's schedule allows. So I will post on the page under live stream as soon as we have our next topic. And if you guys would like to share, if you have any ideas of something you'd like to do, let us know.
Yeah.
Those kids. Yeah, we're trying to find some cases that aren't too painful, that are because everything that's going on in the world is pretty heavy and dark. And our intention with this show is to help, and hopefully one day our work will circulate and it will help somebody or some family. And so for our mental health sake too, we don't want to take anything on that's too painful. So we might look at finding some cases that are, mysteries around locations, or kind of like Harlow had mentioned, there's this case about this guy who claims he time traveled, stuff kind of like that. So maybe more paranormal-y. If you guys have anything, let us know. But I'm going to be doing my meditation after this. So if anyone needs it, in about 2 or 3 minutes, we'll jump back on a different link for a meditation. But thank you, as always, Harlow, for the great work.
Yes,
Denise, awesome.
Thank you.
We're syncing up. And we'll see you guys next week for Ask the Aliens, and then the week after for True Crime.
Okay.
Okay, bye, everybody.